Welcome to the Department of Mechanical Engineering, SIRT Bhopal. So today we will see about the hot and cold forging process. And at first, before going to the descriptive part, I would like to introduce myself. That is, I am Dr. Amit Awas, and this is a brief description about my qualification. So, rather, at first to go for the hot and cold forging, I would like to describe in terms of hot forming and cold forming. And in overall perspective, if we know, then it would be better for us that to understand the hot and cold forging is easier for us. So that's why I'm just trying to describe these things at first. Whether this is hot forging or hot forming, we will do it above the recrystallization temperature, and the cold forging or cold forming process is we will do it at room temperature basically. So at whatever the advantage we can get to work at the higher temperature, the same advantage will get in terms of hot forging or hot forming process. And the advantage we can get it to work at the lower temperature. So the same advantage will get at to work at the cold forging process. So these are the advantages and disadvantages and what type of properties we will get. Each and everything we will see in a very precise but very sufficient parameters. I will discuss everything for you, and you will get crystal clear information about these terms. So just go through from the beginning to the end. You will understand each and everything. So just let's start the session and you'll get everything. So at first the types of forging, as I told you that this is something hot forging and another is cold forging process. So one by one we will see. This is at first cold forging. What is cold forging? The first point is this cold forging consists of deforming a metal or material at a room temperature by applying very high pressure. So a high pressure we definitely in the forging we or metal forming process. So we need to apply the high pressure or high force to get the deformation or to get the desired deformation, I would say. So definitely these type of deformation, whatever the type of shape you need, then you will go through that, some specific type of forging process. But here my main concern is to bifurcate the difference between cold and hot forging. So I will talk in the same manner. So the second point is the slug is placed in a die and then compressed by action of a press until it fits into the desired shape. So we will compress the sample or compress the workpiece into the some die to get the desired shape. So definitely we'll compress it and compressive type of load. So advantage we are going to see that what will be the advantage, because it is like a cold forming process. So at first the cold force part required very little or no finishing work. So just try to understand the things. In hot forging, we will work at a very high temperature, and at high temperature, there is a chance of forming oxide and all these things. To the reactivity of that particular metal or material will get increased, and at that temperature, whatever the other oxide form that may deteriorate the sample, because the properties of that the oxide. For example, I have taken the iron. So iron oxide will form at higher temperature, while during deformation iron is somehow means ductile in nature. Means iron, pure iron I am talking about, whether iron oxide is somehow brittle in nature. So the deformation behavior is different. So the oxide will deteriorate the sample. So this problem can be avoided when we go for the cold forging process. That's why, since we will get the precise shape and size of the workpiece, so with the very little finishing work, or approximately we can say no finishing work will require. Okay. So the second point, another significant advantage is the material saving achieved through near net saving. The initial weight of the workpiece equal to final weight of the cold forge component. As I told you, because no any extra material will be formed, or extra alloy will be formed, or extra composite will be formed at higher temperature. That's why there is a very little chance of, since no finishing work required, definitely no machining required. That's why I'm not telling you that zero means will no use the machining completely, but a very little amount of finishing required. That's why I'm telling you, like some final weight of the component will be equal to the initial weight of the component. So these are the some advantage. And the third point is the cold forged part offer a good level of attainable dimension, accuracy, and excellent surface quality. This already no finishing work means we will get the excellent surface quality. So these type of things we will get. And the another point is the economic advantage combined with a high production rate and long die life are attractive many manufacturers to choose cold forging as the best option for them. That's why these are some of the advantages of cold forging. Now disadvantage, apart from the cold advantage, so there are some disadvantages also there. So we are going to see it one by one. So at first, only simple shape in high volume can be shaped, because when we will working at a lower temperature and working at higher temperature, there is a difference of softening of material. When you are working with hot forging, means you are working at higher temperature. At higher temperature, the material will get softened, means the ductility of the workpiece will be increased. That's why you can deform it, will have the ductility will be more in case of hot forging. So complex shape can be produced. But here in this case, since you are working at the room temperature, so this will be the problem for us that we can produce a simple shape in high volume. So this is the disadvantage one. The achievable deformation level and shaping rate are much more limited. Therefore, if the customer is searching for a specific customized component, cold forging won't be the best alternative. Definitely, if someone required a complex shape, so we cannot go for the forging process. As I told you, this is the first point is simple shape can be produced. This is just inference of the first point. So next point is the cold forging. The cold forged metals are less ductile. Already I have discussed, which makes them inappropriate for some configuration. Definitely, this is one of the disadvantage, and this is mainly due to the work hardening of the material, or we can say it as strain hardening of the material. So this is the another, and the it is next fourth example. Fourth point is it is important to mention that cold forging extrusion, for example, requires also a heat treatment to eliminate possible cracks, creak hardening, or raptors. So, if you choose the cold forging process, definitely some strain hardening, some strain hardened. So, to decrease the hardening effect, we can choose the tempering process. In the heat treatment. So, some heat treatment requires here. So maybe, but somehow, so this may be there. So this may be the disadvantage of cold forging process. So this was regarding the cold forging, and the last and fifth point is the cold forging cannot be used on every steel grade, particularly on those with low ductility. As I already told you, that low ductile material cannot be deformed using the cold forging process, because the ductility can be increased when you will choose the hot forging process. So due to increased temperature, the ductility could be increased at higher temperature, and then you can deform it into complex shape. So these are some the disadvantages of cold forging. So the next one is hot forging. So some hot forging can be defined as a metal shaping process in which a malleable metal part known as billet or workpiece is worked above recrystalline temperature. So already I have discussed with you that what is recrystalline temperature means the temperature after which the crystal structure will be changed, and due to that change in crystal structure the material's property will be improved or will be changed, and that will be the and the ductility will be increased, and then you can deform it into complex shape as I told you. So the above recrystalline temperature doesn't have a proper meaning. I should say here that 50 to 100 degree over the recrystalline temperature. So this will be better one, I think you should add it here that 50 to 100 degree above the recrystalline temperature to a predetermined shape by one or more processes, such as either you choose the hammering or upsetting or pressing or different some whatever the types of forging you are choosing on that, just you have choose that process and to get the desired shape of the final product. So the workpiece is heated up to or about 75% of its melting temperature. This is the same approximately same range, that is the range of recrystallization temperature. If you have gone through the material science very carefully, so definitely you can understand each and everything in a very clear manner. So this was regarding the hot forging. Now advantages of hot forging is the first point is the high temperature during hot forging enables the highest possible level of material deformation and access to complex 3D geometry. Already I have discussed this and everything. In very short, I'm going to revise it now. At higher temperature, more ductility, more softening of material, so that more deformation level can be possible. So definitely you will get more complex shape. So these are some points regarding that. Hot forge component poses increased ductility, makes them desirable for many configurations. Yes, okay. Also, as a technique, hot forging is more flexible than cold forging, since customized can be manufactured approximately same part but in an elaborated manner. I'm just giving you some points. If you during examination, if you forget one or two points, definitely you will be remembered at least 2 to 3 points so that you can write inside the examination. Also, hot forging material are available all over the world, which has a positive impact on their final price also. So definitely, this is a very famous process of hot forging because it covers almost a wide range of product can be made using the hot forging technique. So this is regarding the hot forging. So now the disadvantage we have to see. So the first disadvantage, the properties of hot forged metal are obtained by subsequent heat treatment. This requires additional cost which can be avoided if using cold forging. So since extra heating arrangement we have to arrange, and this will consume some amount of energy, and to heat we need some type of furnace, and fuel consumption will be there, so definitely the overall cost of the production will be increased. So if you choose the cold forging process, definitely this cost can be reduced or avoided. So the second point is less precise dimensional tolerance. As I already told you, at higher temperature, oxide formation will be there, and due to the different deformation behavior between the base metal and the oxide of that metal, so the deterioration of the sample will be there. So you need some extra machining will be there and these types. So tolerance level will be less. So less precise, I should say. So you'll get the product. The cooling process should be also performed under a special condition. Otherwise, there is a risk of warping. So definitely, if the controlled cooling will not be there, so definitely it can be some thermal stresses will be there, and due to that thermal stresses, maybe some cracks will be there. Distortion of the vinyl workpiece may you can get some types of these type of things you will get. So you should take care of these things also. The next point is the obtained surface quality needs a wide range of finishing work, polishing, coating, painting, tailored, specific customers need. So definitely deteriorated surface you will get. So definitely you need some type of machining operation. So definitely on the basis of your application and customer need, you need to select the type of machining process. So these are some point, and the last point are the also the grain structure of forged metal may vary, and there is always a possibility of reaction between the atmosphere and the workpiece. So whatever the things I have discussed already, that chances of oxide formation or chances of phase transformation. So these things are always prone at higher temperature. So we should take care of these things also. And this will depend on the process you have chosen and the base metal you have chosen to produce that particular workpiece. So this was regarding the hot and cold forging process we have gone through. So on the behalf of our Department of Mechanical Engineering, SIRT, and Sage Group, so we are very thankful to you for watching this video. And I'm Dr. Amit Abbas, and just like our video and subscribe our channel SIRTME for these type of videos. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you all.